Well, jobs.
Everybody, welcome back to the workshop and my desire to get that VW T4 restored and on the road. So, big project, got to get it done, haven't got a huge amount of time, but before I start that, let me get you caught up on the other bits and pieces so we can get straight to the van.
Well, here it is. It's had a clean. The roof is down. It's not looking like a bad little thing. Now, the most important, as this was bought as a non-runner, no keys, because the person had lost the keys, and he had bought it as a non-runner 7, maybe 10 years ago, and left it in the barn, suspected snapped cam belt, and they thought that meant the engine was dead. Well, shall we prove them wrong? And you did hear it trying to start. So, there's a key. Oh, there's some windscreen wipers. No, we don't want those. No. Don't want that. Listen to that. The little car that didn't run was left for dead in the back of a barn. You can hear the water pump is not too pretty, if I'm honest. You can hear that whirring away. But to be expected if it's sat there for that long. But she lives! So rather surprisingly and unsurprisingly, lots of things on this just work. I mean, as soon as we got an ignition running, the roof started working. Windows, there was a sticky motor on one side. Surprisingly, literally everything works on it. Then, unsurprisingly, things needed changing. So obviously, there's a brand new battery. Under here, so the actual problem was a very simple one, that it had a cam belt change, and the cam belt tensioner, which screws to the side of the block in here, they'd used shorter bolts. I think they'd mixed some bolts up. So they'd all lost them and then put another bolts in. They didn't go in far enough, so it wiggled its way out, pulled the threads out because it wasn't in deep enough. Cam belt came loose. Everybody, knowing that the cam belt was most likely snapped or gone, decided that it was a head-off job, valves, engine, munch, and no one touched it. They're a non-interference engine. This is, of course, the joys of Google, which nobody seemed to use. And you could hear a minute ago, the bearings in the water pump are not pretty. That's going to have to get changed. It's had plugs, leads, rotor arm, distributor cap, because yes, it is old school plugs. That's all now running well. It'll get a little bit better as well. It's just flushing through old dirty fuel and can't run it for too long apart from that water pump. We haven't got a thermostat for the radiator because the radiator popped itself, and that is the right radiator for the car, but it doesn't fit the thermostat that was in it. So a little bit of mucking around, but it is an old car. But apart from that, it's looking good. I mean, you wouldn't think it's the same car, would you? And it's now sounding good. With just last bits, and then give it a proper run, decent service, a proper run, and well, I'm kind of looking forward to that. However, that is an update, because I'm just in awe of how well that's running, actually. The other bit is, why haven't I got onto the van yet? Well, you can possibly see why I haven't got onto the van yet, because it's in front of it. There has been a slight distraction and a explosion of the Africa Twin.
So for those that don't know, large amounts are, I want to try to live life to the fullest, I think. No, I'm not having a midlife crisis. But look, things that are missed. The story behind the Africa Twin. I've owned that, apart from a brief stint where I sold it to Justin. He did the paintwork on it and then sold it back to me. That has had that 14 years. And I was going to go on a huge motorbike adventure. And then, well, I met the person I married, and never went. You know, life does get in the way of these big adventures, and then the older you get, the less you want to go and do these things. So unless you go and make those memories, you'll never have a chance. So there's a big motorbike tour coming up. There's a big car tour coming up, which is why the Maserati is getting sorted, along with this. They're going together. And the van is, in some ways, less important than that, but I would need to get onto that. I've just been waiting for the two-post ramp to be free, because there's been other things. So, as I wanted to take this, or certainly wanted to take this to Italy through the Stelvio Pass, Furka Pass, down to Lake Garda, all the rest of it on this thing in the summer, I thought I'd start doing some bits and pieces to make sure that it was suitable for sort of a 7,000 kilometre round trip, and we ran into issues.
That is very possibly one of the most annoying vehicles I've ever owned. I love it and hate it equally. It has a wheel speed sensor issue, which are usually about 100 quid, but Maserati decided that they were internal to the wheel hub, so it's 650 euros. Thank you so much, Maserati. But that will be another trip, which will be interesting, because that's part of this channel. What I'm trying to do is go out and make memories, adventures. So Africa Twin. I appreciate lots of you don't like motorbikes. I'm sorry, and I've never understood that. I think if you like cars and you like motorbikes and vice versa. I decided, because this bike is from 1990, that the original radiators and hoses would be a good idea to change. And so I did. I bought some nice, brand new, fabricated aluminium radiators here. I thought, that'd be beautiful, nice and new, and silicone hoses, which would mean that, I didn't have to worry about the cooling system. And rather annoyingly, this is what's called the RDO4 Africa Twin, so 1990. And then they went to the RDO7 and the RDO7A afterwards, which are virtually the same bikes, slightly different fairings and slightly different bits and pieces, and not many manufacturers know. So the people that made the radiators for this said it fitted everything from 1990 to 2002 or 2003 when they stopped making it, but it doesn't. There were subtle changes in 1993, so these do not fit the right mount. So I pulled the entire bike apart to solve a problem which didn't exist, just trying to make something better, and I've now made it worse, which is just the way things go sometimes. there we go. Back together, back on the road. And that's another thing sorted. And I do get to use that a little bit. Now, it's time. Time to get this on the ramp and get the engine out. Let's do it. Well, jobbed. Yeah. Poor thing. There are lots of things to check on the engine which are easier with it out. Essentially it's quite a tight engine bay, it's quite annoying. It's an old engine. So if we're going to do this properly, there's a couple of things. I've got to change the clutch and the dual mass flywheel. It's done enough miles. It's a bit juddery last time I drove it. Wanted to be able to check the turbo, and at this point it's quite easy to change, not particularly expensive either. And, things like back here, there's oil all over the shop at the back of the engine. I want to make sure that this is going to go back in and not have to have work anytime quickly. Other thing, apart from being able to clean up the engine bay and address little bits of rust down here, which is really difficult to get to when you've got an engine in place, the main thing is to be able to do all of the scuttle and everything else, stood in the engine bay. It's much easier, much closer, much better work. So, hopefully, we are making a step in the right direction. So, that is the first step. Engine's out. That can come to one side. I'm going to start looking that over, ordering the parts for that, because that's not going to go back in straight away. And then we need to start cleaning up the engine bay so it's a nice place to stand. Need to get the wings off, and then want to get to the scuttle and all the other bits and pieces, and basically start ordering bits. I mean, there's loads of famous parts on these which are
always failing, and I'm seeing some of that when we're taking it apart. So gear linkages, all sorts of bits and pieces which fail. If I get all these bits ordered now, long before I need to put it back together, there is no stopping the project. So thanks so much for being patient until I got this started. It's been a little bit of a difficult run. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.